And what I'm going to talk to about is trading opportunities into India and out through the free trade warehousing zone. There is a lot of potential, as you can see in this slide. This act was passed in 2005 as against the Customs Act 1962, in which route all traditional business is going through up to now. We are looking at a new business model through the free trade warehousing zone. This is constructed for, it was, the law says that the private entrepreneurs are allowed to set up these zones to construct state-of-the-art infrastructure for storage, and in return they are given certain advantages in taxes. It's focused on efficiency and economy, high profitability, and in this route, if there is a free trade warehousing zone, one operates a zone, and overseas trader can do his trading without starting any company in India through a unit in that zone by creating, by stocking his goods there, where he can store it without payment of any duty. So there are a lot of advantages of risk mitigation, wide variety of trading transactions, lead time reduction for marketing because products are available physically in India, and therefore it is a powerful marketing tool. India has got a very low share of the international trade, which I say that there is an opportunity for growth. These are the commodities which are imported into India in terms of oil and gas, and in billions, defense and aerospace, electronics, up to instrumentation. US exports to India about 22.6 billion last year in 2013. And this is the commodities as per the value. This is how they can, what are the commodities can be traded. A company that trades in high value metals can keep the metals in the zone without any involvement of taxation. High-end capital goods, it can be, they can be also demonstrated in piece by piece by bringing it and introducing in the market. You can take it out and take it to the customer, potential customers place and demonstrate it without involvement of duty for a limited period of say about 100 days and bring it back. Temporary imports are also very important. The conventional route involves import through ATA carne and bank guarantees, which are done away with inside the free trade warehousing zone. And we have been doing this inside the zone for the last 5 years. Turnkey projects company, which only for the EPC contractors can bring in all the components from various parts of the world and can deliver it to without exposing their bills. And of course, the superior infrastructure. You can use FTWZ as for a vendor managed inventory, reducing the inventory carrying costs for the buyer. A foreign company that wishes to sell its products in India and nearby market want to test the product acceptably before taking on the risk. There is no risk because you don't pay any duties. You can take it back anytime or take it to some other country. He wants to source products from around the world but supply them in a single invoice to the Indian customers and not reveal the identity of its suppliers. You can do it through that zone. This is a diagram which gives the various possibilities of goods. If you want to get parts from various parts of the world and bring it to the free trade warehousing zone, and you can either assemble them in the zone, you can label them, kit them, and do invoicing from the zone and sell it out, or sell it to the Indian buyer.
But that time you pay duty, right?
Yes, yes, that time. That's the only time you pay. Otherwise, everything is duty free. That is what I want to say. That this is the model of tomorrow. So we are into these services, and we are present in and one of the areas of I can mention is the defense and aerospace. See, I will tell you a case study that there is an Israeli defense manufacturer who got an order from the government of India for selling high range radars, and according to the defense offset policy of India, for high value purchase about 300 crores, you have to have approximately 30% of the components manufactured in India. So
that's about $60 million, 300 crores.
yeah. So therefore, they have already set up the offset partners, the big defense suppliers. One of them we are dealing with. What they are doing, this is a specific case where they are manufacturing radars of 3,500 kilometer range. It's an Israeli company. They are procuring from their offset partner in Coimbatore the power supply for the same. It's quite a bulky equipment. Normally what they would have to do is they would have to export it back to Israel and integrate it with the original the radar system, and then again export it to. In the process, they will be spending about three months and between 3 to 6 months in the export licensing in both the countries. Instead of that, what we are doing is we are going to do the first trial shipment, that the power supply comes to the free trade warehousing zone. It is integrated with the main system inside the zone, and then it is delivered. So all taxation problems are solved. So this is the advantage of and looking at the huge defense procurement plan that India has over the next 10 years. This is going to be a very big area where the free trade warehousing zone is going to come.
I'm getting the signal that we are just about out of time, so
okay.
I do want to reserve time for questions. Is there one quick point you want to make?
Yeah, question.
Yeah.
I'm saying that this is the business model of tomorrow.
Yeah. So India is the largest purchaser of defense equipment in the world, just so you know. Yeah, questions.
But do you have the offset manufacturing capability in India? I mean, that fits the aerospace and defense requirement.
Yeah. So that's coming. There's already with the Boeing 787s, for example, much of the frame was manufactured in India. Lockheed has a joint venture in India manufacturing product. Pratt & Whitney has been doing a lot of work in India, both Pratt & Whitney US and Pratt & Whitney Canada. It's still a very small percentage overall. But as the big purchases happen over the next 10 years, you will see that start to grow, particularly in the private sector. So most of the big defense manufacturing is being government-owned. And those plants are really places for people to get a paycheck, not necessarily to work. So that's starting to change.
I
You had a question?
A couple of things actually. To that, India imposes a 50% offset in
30%.
cases.
No, it depends.
30 to 50, that's it.
30% is the minimum.
Which is a pretty big number.
Yeah.
But again, going back to the free trade,
Yes.
the FTWZ, is that in operation today?
Yes.
It is? Where
Yes.
is it in operation?
Our zone is located in a place called Sri City. It is the border of Chennai and Andhra, just across in Andhra. It's the district of Chittoor.
Yeah.
We have a facility, it's a state-of-the-art warehouse. It's having 60,000 square feet of covered space and about 1 lakh square feet open space. And we are operation for the last 3 years. And we started, while we started our construction, we were operation because we were bringing in PepsiCo oats and working through that for getting the SAD. That's again the duty, all these duty things. It's very highly, it's worthwhile to try the FTW.
Now, hold on a second. A number of people asked questions in the beginning, and I know some of you have been shy about talking since then. So, next couple of questions go to people who haven't spoken up yet.
Just a one-line answer from you. Which act does this fall under? This
Is the ACZ Act 2005, read with the ACZ rules 2006. It's available in the public domain.
All right. Anybody who hasn't said anything yet? Yes, sir.
What biggest challenge does the country face in handling this defense technological handling related to logistics? Because I see like now there is a lot of demand for private companies to chip in and handle
Yes.
the.
Yes, you see, as I was telling you, the offset program has given rise to offset partners. They are the Tatas, Mahindras, the L&Ts. They are partnering with the people like the Nestor and these Israeli company, I forget the name. They are partnering so that, part of the equipment they have to develop indigenously and then supply and then and integrate and sell. But this whole procedure can be done inside the FTWZ without the involvement of all complicated tax structure. Otherwise, it would have been involved if we don't use the FTWZ. And freedom from customs and all those things.
So what is going to change? How has it been happening before, and how is it going to change after?
If normally you were to do it in India, what would you do? For example, if I've talked about the radar thing, that offset partner would have had to physically ship it to Israel, thereby incurring to and fro freight. That is a huge amount, and thereby you are saving on cost.
I can take that question offline about all the other non-supply chain issues. There's a whole issue, the whole slew of them. But basically,
It's a workaround.
Yeah.
This is the workaround.
Yeah.
For all the issues you deal with in India.
in India, in the past, all of the purchases were really from the former Soviet Union. And so it was handled very, very differently from what the future is. So much of this is very new. Anybody else who hasn't asked a question yet?
Is it a physical area, or is your operation designated as the?
It's a physical area bound by physical boundaries. It has got a gate from which you have to take permission to enter.
It's not a city-wide, or it's a gated area then.
It's an area which is maybe about
a
few hundred acres.
It's the same as the
It's
US.
like a city. It's few hundred acres.
And there are multiple of these.
Yes, there are multiple units.
Not only.
You can hire an area inside the zone and construct your own warehouse, or you construct a unit, and you can be operational
The
there.
Port of Long Beach is a free trade zone.
Well, basically, talking about it is you can bring product in. You don't have to deal with shelling out duties, a lot of the import restrictions, all those things. You can manipulate the product, do all these kind of things in multiple industries, and then you only pay the duty when you're ready to enter it into Indian commerce, or the same in a lot of countries. So, this is it's a great leap forward on the ability to do a lot of things. And sometimes you're manipulating product that you brought in that's going out of the country again. So all this is simplified, and there's a lot of companies doing it, usually like complicated things like defense or high duty items, like all the oil terminals and everything booze that comes into California goes into a foreign trade zone because it's very expensive, and they pay the duty when you're ready to fill up your tank or have a drink or whatever the thing is there. So it's a it's a big leap forward, especially with all kinds of import barriers or different types of barriers. You avoid them by bringing the product in and then work through it.
Alrighty, we are about 4 minutes over, which is fine because we started 20-something minutes late, so we are helping you with some catch up here. Any other questions before we disband?
Only the people who did not ask questions, or
Anybody now?
no? I hope the new prime minister was very promising.
Yes, one of his priority areas is the SEZ.
Right. Well, SCZ. I visited SCZ.
Yeah.
Near Mumbai.
Yes.
So we have export products, medical products. But one thing I want to make sure, hope that Mr. Modi can streamline these bureaucracies.
Yes.
Because, just to give you one example, in which you can relate to, when we have import, from any country, customs is so easy. We get a notification after filing that ISF and all that, get a notification that this is clear, and it's sometimes truck delivers it to our factory right here, without any complication. When we export, and every every couple of weeks we have big containers going to India. Export, and there, not only they go by rule of books, but it's also person dependent.
Yeah.
Okay?
You mean import into India?
Importing into India.
Yes, that the solution is the free trade warehousing zone where you can keep it.
But you ultimately have to get it out of the free trade zone, right?
Yes, that when you get it out,
Then you
you
pay the
have the time to follow all the, that's a customs act.
But
So,
what I'm saying
yeah.
is, it should not be person dependent.
No.
There should be a fixed set
no,
of
no,
rules.
yes,
Right,
absolutely.
but
No, absolutely. For the
No, but
last,
But importing, it's a much, it makes it.
no, but it has changed because
Yes,
there's remote local filing in India, where customers can file from Delhi or Mumbai. So it's changing. But because of the high duty rate,
Mr. Modi
Is developed by the court.
yes, it is simplified because I'll tell you, the free trade zone is administered not by the finance department but by the commerce department.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to disband officially, but if you have questions, feel free to come up here.
Quick break, everybody. The next session's downstairs at Embassy, where you had your lunch. Again, everybody's already out of the other sessions, and they're having a break. Yes, sir.
There's a first.